of it. I think Nolan was definitely unalive. Too much going on. Too much going on where it's just too many contradictions. Ah, a woman is involved in this situation. Okay, okay, Robert. Gotcha, brother. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. Well, I know of one woman, and that's the one that they tried to say that he was supposed to be staying with her instead of getting back on the boat. But as you know, when they questioned her, she said no, he went back with his friends. So, it's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. Too many contradictions, too much going on. But the thing that makes this thing worse is that when, let me see, when the father went to that house to try and retrieve the keys or what have you, the way that the friends were so standoffish, like that stands out to me. That's a red light. That's a red light. And if these guys were friends, they should have known his father, right? They went to school together, and they should have been able to give the father more cooperation and been more, helpful. But instead, he received the cold shoulder treatment. And the kid inside, I believe there was a kid inside who called the cops. Got to let the authorities do their job. They're doing it. They're doing it. We have no choice but to let the authorities do their job. But at the same time, we want answers. It's frustrating because of the history of that place. The history of the South, man. It's frustrating than ever because we know what happened to our people throughout the years, man. Throughout slavery and Reconstruction, we know about the Ku Klux Klan. We know about the lynchings, the hangings of our people. We know this stuff. And the funny thing is, I'm sitting here now in South Carolina, brother, and I'm looking all over this thing, all these roads, man. And every time I go driving up and down the road, I start thinking about I could be driving somewhere where my people were trying to get the hell out of here, running from the slave master in the camp. Police don't advertise everything they are doing. True, true. I've considered that too. I do think they did a bigger investigation in that they know more than what they're saying. But what I believe also is that they can't just put it all out at one time because this place will go into an uproar. They have to be very, very careful about the information that they put out. If especially if it's detrimental to those kids, because America's going to go up in flames. You remember what happened with George Floyd? When George Floyd, was unalived, you see what happened. All the states down there went crazy. So imagine what it would be like now if they really just come out and say he was unalive. You have chaos everywhere. So they're kind of smart. They're smart, to keep their investigation under wraps and let it out little by little. So yeah. Hey, hello. How you doing over there, Austin? But yeah, it's just one of those things, brothers and sisters. How you guys feel? He says, why never any uproar when the leading cause of preventative deaths among in black community, you mean on black? Hey man, this is a subject I've been involved with for a long time talking about. And that's a whole nother kettle of tea, man. That's a whole nother kettle of tea. No, I don't live in South Carolina. I'm just down here visiting. I'm just down here visiting. And but I can tell you, man, down here is much better. I used to live down here 30 years ago. And 30 years ago, it was much, much worse down here in the South. But okay, good. You're doing good, Blanco. It was much worse down here in the South 30 years ago, but it's much, much better. It's not as good as it can be. But you see more interracial couples. The racial tension is not here like that. At least I don't see it. But you still can go certain places and you can see the Confederate flags hanging up. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can see the people riding motorcycles. They got the Confederate flag on there. They got the hats. But the worst part, they're not causing no trouble. They just, I guess, they want to represent what they want to represent. But 30 years ago, I came down here and I was living, and it was terrible, man. You were being called the N word to your face, all kind of stuff. South Carolina is terrible. I'm here in some places. In some places, I could imagine so. But where I'm at, man, it's smooth, man. It's smooth. And I live in, well, I don't live, but where I am, I'm in a little town, man. Was just mostly YT, like the BLK people, very small percentage here. And it seems so far that everybody gets along. Everybody gets along. So I know from experience, it's much better down here. Barry Obama really agitated racism, and now it's Jasmine Crockett and Al Sharpton. Well, I don't know about that agitating racism. What you mean concerning this case here with Nolan? You think they're agitators here? If that's what you're saying, I don't think so, man. I think they're doing what's right. I think God in this case for Al Sharpton and Ben Crump, I want to send a shout outs to Colin Kaepernick and Tyler Perry. Shout outs to them, man. That's how you get in the second autopsy. That's how you get in the second autopsy, to make sure that no foul play was done. Can someone please give me 19? I'm sure for my DoorDash. My parents are at work till 9 p.m. Okay, whatever that means. Al Sharpton is notorious race baiter, race car player. Maybe, if that's what you want to say, but I don't think so in this case, brother. I think he's doing a legitimate job in this case. You got to give it to him, bro, because for the simple fact that police chief or commissioner, whoever the hell it was in Mississippi, they wanted to say it was just accidental. It was just an accidental drowning. If those brothers Sharpton and Crump would not have stepped in, that's what we would have had. I don't think so, Jordy Small. I don't think it was accidental drowning. Too many factors that go against that, bro. Come on. They didn't even help the man's father, Nolan's father, when he came. And these are his friends. Come on. They offered no support whatsoever. They went back inside. They locked that door. They called the police, and they didn't want nothing to do with him. The mother, who's a judge, gave them a gag order. Be quiet. You scrub the daggone social media platforms. You come on. Like, everything stinks about this case, man. Everything points to foul play. If Crump and Sharpton are involved, it's a hustle. Listen, brother. So did Nolan know how to swim? His parents said he did. But if you're talking about a hustle, brother, let me ask you a question. I heard a sister say this on one of the panels on TikTok. She said everybody's calling Ben Crump, a hustler trying to make money. Well, here's the question. Like the sister said, if you spend years and years in law school studying law, when you graduate, are you not supposed to try and make money from what you just studied, or should you just do everything pro bono? You get what I'm saying? It's just crazy. So yeah, when you get out of college, you're daggone right you're gonna want to make money. So he's not doing nothing wrong. He's making money from what he studied. He's trying to get paid. What's wrong with that? If they were innocent, they wouldn't have had an immediate need for lawyers. There you go. Common sense. Common sense. Just imagine, I don't know your name. I'll call you Taylor, E. Taylor. You growing up, I'm pretty sure you had friends that were close-knit friends of yours when you were growing up. I had them where I lived on my floor. And if we would have went somewhere, and we all knew each other's mothers and fathers back and forth, we could practically walk in and out of anybody's house, almost. And if we had went somewhere as a group, and one of us wouldn't have came back, dude, we would have all went out on an expedition. We'd have all went. I've been telling my friend's mother and father, yo, he was with us. This happened, that happened. But that's not forthcoming with them. They're not doing that. And that's a sign of guilt, man. Case in point. Yeah, that's a sign of guilt. We all stuck together. Of course. Of course you stuck together. Large group of people drinking, drugging, etc. What could go wrong with this situation? Of course things can go wrong, and that's the point. We know something went wrong. Problem is, we're not being told what went wrong by the people who were there and the people who were his friends. That's the problem. You see, that's the problem. So we need some more information. We need those people to be more forthcoming. And for that lawyer, that mother, if it is any foul play, she's going to be in worlds of trouble, man. Worlds of trouble. Worlds of trouble. And, you're talking about the South, man. You're talking Mississippi, brother. Come on. Talking about Mississippi. Hello, how are you? Okay, I see this. But you're talking about Mississippi. and notoriously in the past has been a racist state. So I think we all pretty much know what's going on. Let's see. Let's remove that. No, matter of fact, talking about how you doing. Yeah. Okay, cool. Uh, so yeah, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. We know what's going on out here, and more than likely something happened to Nolan that that's foul. Racially motivated? I don't know, but if you ask me, I would think so, just based on the fact where it happened at. And if you don't know the history of Mississippi, guys, go out there and get you a book on Reconstruction, or go out there and read any Civil War book. Read any Civil War book, and you'll see. Tells me the accidental drowning will be the findings. Astuteness. Who's the astuteness? My astuteness? Oh, your astuteness. Okay, your astuteness. Okay, your sharpness tells you that it'd be mental drowning. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you're going to be wrong, Robert. Yeah, right. Watch Mississippi Burning. Watch Mississippi Burning, and you'll get the idea right then and there. So yeah, man, this is history, bro. All you have to do, and this is why I impress upon these youngsters. You guys, you got to learn history, man. Go out there and buy your book on the Civil War, man. The causes for the Civil War. Go buy your book on slavery. Any of that stuff, and you'll understand what we're talking about. Let me see something. Yeah, I want to see you over here. We got a slick one over here. Okay. No. All right. On YouTube, somebody was trying to get slick. Okay. So, yeah, watch Mississippi Burning. Your astuteness tells you. So, yeah, man, I think the brother was unalived, and I don't want to get into too many conspiracies, how they put him back where on the island and all of that stuff. All of that stuff is very, very possible that they could have done that. But the solid facts is this: they did not offer any help to the father or the family, and the judge lady, who's the friend, help any explanation. Right? It's just hush hush, shut down, doors closed, windows shut. Well, man, and all 25 of you in here, that is a sign that something is wrong. Something's very, very wrong. So we'll get to the bottom of it. They have no choice but to. Hello, Isabel Palmer. We'll get to the bottom of it. There's no choice but to. Like I said, I commend Mr. Ben Crump, and I commend Al Sharpton in this place, what they're doing right now. But let me get over here and move. I'm going to do this. We'll do that. Move over here.